Today is Friday, February 19th, 2021. It's 9:58 a.m. and I'm calling Intoxalock. Amber O'Connor.
Thank you for calling Intoxalock. Press 1 for English or press 2 for Spanish. If you know your party's extension, dial it now.
Amber O'Connor is out of the office. Please leave a message after the tone. When you are finished, you may hang up or press 1 for special options.
Hello, Amber. My name is... You called me last Friday. I've been busy and I've been trying to get a hold of you. I called you Wednesday and I have no idea where you are. I need to speak with you or anybody in authority with your company because I'm tired of dealing with used car salespeople. Please call me back. Here's my number, 810. Please call back today. Thank you. Bye now. Today is Friday, February 19th, 2021. It's 10:51 a.m. and I'm calling Intoxalock.
Thank you for calling Intoxalock. Press 1 for English or press 2 for Spanish. If you are not a current Intoxalock customer and have questions about having an Intoxalock device installed, please press 2. If you know your party's extension, please dial it at any time. If you are a current or previous Intoxalock customer, please press 3. If you are a service center, attorney, or monitoring authority, press 4. If you know your party's extension, dial it now.
Great company. Today is Friday, February 19th, 2021. It's 11 a.m. and I'm calling Intoxalock for the third time today.
Thank you for calling Intoxalock. Press 1 for English or press 2 for Spanish. If you are not a current Intoxalock customer and have questions about having an Intoxalock device installed, please press 2. If you know your party's extension, please dial it at any time. If you know your party's extension, dial it now.
Thank you for calling Intoxalock. How can I help you today?
I'm trying to reach Amber O'Connor. She called me Friday, and I called her back Wednesday, and she never called me back, and I called back this morning, and she hasn't called me back.
Okay, sir. Excuse me. You got me all choked up here. She is not in the office right now, but what I can do is I can transfer you over to her voicemail, and as soon as she gets in, she'll give you a call back.
Yeah, but when is that? Because I called her Wednesday, and she didn't bother to call me back, and I called her this morning, and she hasn't called me back.
Yeah, let me see what her schedule is. Let me see if I can tell you what her schedule is. Hang on for me just a second. Okay, she is actually out on vacation this week from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Well, that's pretty silly leaving a message to on her voicemail to leave a message and she'll call back. Why wouldn't she just say she's on vacation?
Well, tell me your name, please.
Richard.
And Richard, are you needing an IID installed?
Ma'am, I've had trouble with your company since September, and I've talked to numerous employees that don't know what they're talking about. They gave me bad information, and the last time I spoke to was on the February 8th. I talked to a guy named Nick. And I said, I'm tired. The guy didn't even know what he was talking about, and he was getting rude to me. And I said, I want your supervisor. And he put me on hold for 15 minutes, and I hung up. And then Amber O'Connor called me last Friday, and she said she's the Michigan representative, and she can help me out. And I've been busy, and I tried to contact her again Wednesday, and she no message. And if she would have said I'm on vacation, I would have done that last Wednesday. I would have contacted you. I'm getting bad information, bad pricing, bad. It's like your people don't know what they're talking about, and it's like they're used car salesmen trying to close me, and I'm getting nowhere, and this has gone on since September.
So let me do this. What is your telephone number?
What I want is talk to a supervisor, anybody in authority that can stop this. This is insane.
Okay, well, hold on for me just a second.
Yeah.
sir?
Yes.
I'm going to get you transferred over to Trent, so hold on for me just a second, okay?
To who?
To Trent.
Trance?
Trent.
Trent. Okay, thank you. What's his
Thank
title?
He's a sales supervisor.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Hold on just a second.
This is Trent. How can I help you today?
Yes, Trent. My name is. I've been trying to contact your company, trying to get a lock since September, and I've been getting bad information. And the last conversation I had with a man, I called on the 10th, a man named Nick, and I said I would need to speak to a supervisor. He put me on hold for 15 minutes, and I hung up. And then a lady named Amber O'Connor called me last Friday, and she said, I understand, she said, I'm the Michigan representative. I can answer your questions. And I was busy until Wednesday. I called Wednesday, and she said, and I got her voicemail. She said, I'm not in, leave a message. I called Wednesday. She didn't call me back. I called back Friday, got the same thing. She said, I got her voicemail. She said that leave a message. Then I called back, and then I found out she's on vacation. So I'm getting bad information. I'm getting the wrong pricing, and I need help. I don't want to get the runaround. It's like I'm talking to people that don't know what they're talking about, people that are trying to close me like they're used car salesmen. And I called in September, and this lady gave me a location to have this thing installed. And then I tried to go through the Secretary of State to get everything I need to have this and have it done. But then at the time, she almost closed me on having this thing installed in September. But when I tried to get my permit, I had to get a enhanced birth certificate, and that was supposed to take 7 and 10 days, and it took like 3 months, and then I had to I wouldn't have been able to use my vehicle for the last 6 months, and I would have had to been paying for this interlock device for 6 months for nothing. And so then when I called back, when I finally got everything resolved with the Secretary of State, I called back, and you people are, every time I talked to somebody, they gave me different locations. The first woman told me that there is this location that's way far away from my house, and she says it's the only way possible, and there's nobody there, and I have to drop it off, and then I have to pick it up the next day, and then I went arranged trying to figure out people to help me get that all resolved. And then when I called back, they said, well, she's no longer here, and we don't know what you're talking about. There is no such location. And then I'm arguing with this other lady, and then she's telling me, well, you got to go to Marysville or Royal Oak, which are way far away from me. And then when I started researching it, I called back. Somebody else told me there's other locations. Every time I talk to somebody, they give me different locations to have the thing installed.
So first off, you've been working with us over a pretty long period of time. Most people usually resolve or get an interlock installed within about a week. So you've been working with us since last year. So I'm not overly surprised that you've talked to different people. I would just look to let you know, I would expect to get a hold of different people if you're going to work with us over the course of several months to get this done.
I can understand that, but the problem is
one of those situations.
The problem is that the woman that I talked to was no longer there, and all the information that she gave me was wrong. And then the person that I spoke with next was arguing.
Who told you that the information that she gave you was wrong? I'm confused about. I'm confused about. Why the information or how the information was incorrect?
Do you have a record of all the people that I've spoken with, Trent?
Yeah, I mean, I have a list in your account of people that have accessed your account to kind of talk to you about it. Yeah.
Okay. When I finally got everything resolved, the next person that I called. They're saying there is no such place, and you must have called this other company. I'm going, no, I only called your company. And she's going, well, that's impossible. And then I'm asking her, where are the locations? And she gave me the nearest location is Marysville or Royal Oak, and Royal Oak is are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I heard it. I thought I heard a click. And he said it's by an affiliate of our company, and so when I called them, he told me, he says there's other locations that you can have this thing installed, and then I called back, and then they said, well, there are locations in Casco and in Mount Clemens, and which are a lot closer than the other person told me. And then when I called again, I'm talking to a guy named Nick, and that was on the 10th. And this guy's acting like I'm like a used car salesman, and he's breathing hard, and that's when I said, well, put on your supervisor. I'm tired of talking to you. And that's it. He put me on hold for 15 minutes. And I hung up, and then she called me back last Friday, and she said, "Call me. I'm a Michigan specialist. I know Michigan. The problem is that I've had with Michigan is the state of Michigan gives me bad information, and I don't want to commit to something if I just like this. She almost had me commit to this device in September, but then I found out when I went to the Secretary of State, they gave me the wrong information. They told me to apply for a test, but they gave me the wrong test, and then they told me that I didn't have to have the interlock device when I go for the test. But then when I went for the test, the Secretary of State said, yes, you do. You need the interlock device first. And so then I had that stalled it out, and then they told me, well, by the way, you need a enhanced birth certificate, and that'll take 7 to 10 days, but it took like 3 months to finally get it, and I've been dealing with other issues and trying to get this vehicle that I originally applied for a driver's license in 2016. They said they said, okay, you can have a license, but you have to get this interlock device, and you have to pay $4,000 in 20-year-old oversight fees. And I've been trying to fight that with the state of Michigan ever since. They recently, since October 2018, they reversed. They did away with driver oversight fees. But no one in the state of Michigan told me that, and I finally applied again in 2018 in January or 2020. In January, I called the Secretary of State, and they said, "Well, you got to reapply all over again and go through the interview, whatever they call it, to get your license." So I went and I filed all the paperwork, and they gave me a hearing in August. And when I went to the hearing, they said, "Oh, you didn't need the hearing. All you needed was an interlock device, and I could have had that in 2018." So they're giving me all the wrong information, and that's why it's really important that this. I don't know if if this lady actually works with Michigan people, or if she knows anything about Michigan law. But I'm having problems with the state telling me how to get this all installed. With this COVID thing, I have to contact the Secretary of State and try to make an appointment for the next day, and I have no transportation. Then the closest location to me is 28 miles away, but your map says it's only 19 miles away, and that I had a problem with that too. So what I want to do is I think I have everything ready to go as far as getting this done. But I don't trust your company. It's like I'm getting the runaround. And I have no idea how this thing works. I've been doing a little research on it, and does this interlock device, can this thing shut my vehicle down?
No, the interlock device does not shut your vehicle off. The vehicle, that only prevents you from starting the vehicle if it detects alcohol.
Oh, okay. But I mean, it won't, because I was reading that or listening. I went to another site and they were saying that they will test, they will flag you that you need to be tested and you have to pull off the road. Is that true? And you got like 6 minutes to do it?
They do retests, yeah.
Can you
random retests when you're driving?
See, what I need to know is I need to know exactly what's going to happen, and also, is this thing? How is this tracking me like with a GPS?
It depends on the state that you're in, but yes, most models do have the ability to track you through GPS as well.
Michigan. Now, what happens? And this is all through electronics. What happens like what happened in Texas when they had a power outage?
Well, I mean, that wouldn't affect the battery in your vehicle.
What do you mean?
So power outages wouldn't really have anything to do with anything.
But I mean, isn't it communicating with something or not?
No. I mean, you do recals, you do recalibrations. I can look and see if Minnesota if Michigan is 30 days or 60 days, but periodically you'll take the device down to have it recalibrated so that it reads correctly, and during that time period they pull the data off of the device for reporting purposes.
See, my problem,
so that the state can tell that you're not blowing into it with alcohol sources.
Yeah, my problem is, Trent, because I've gone over this. I've been trying to move for a year now, and at this point, this has gone on for so long. I have no idea where I'm going to move because I've got to get everything done first, and that's why it's important. I don't know. I might be out in the middle of no place, and I just don't want to. I went to another site, and they said something about that the police will tow the vehicle or something, but you have to contact to have them unlock the device or something like that. Is that?
So you're doing a lot of research. There's a lot of companies out there, and there's some variability between each company depending on what they do. And I think you're just kind of on information overload at this point. You're doing so much research that you're getting you're giving yourself a lot of conflicting information rather than just asking us. So I wouldn't recommend that you call the shops moving forward. The shops are generally just going to tell you to call us.
Now, what
shops? We schedule everything over the phone here.
What do you mean
On top of that, as far as regulations go, the installation location.
No, I didn't
call. Installation location. We call them.
I didn't call them.
You had said earlier that when we recommended that you go to a certain location, that you had turned around afterwards and called them, and that they had told you that there are other locations.
No, that's what.
I'm not saying
that your person told me to contact them because that they are like an affiliate of yours that buy your product, but they operate in Michigan. And they told me, and this guy told me that the installation was $75, and that includes a visual monitor. And then when I talked to Nick, he was telling me that it could be $150 to $175 installation.
For the cost of installation, yeah. Yeah, that's likely correct, yes.
Yeah, but how could the difference...
What type of a vehicle do you have?
Yeah, but the first person I talked to said it was $75. It's a 2010 Chevy Cobalt.
So, I mean, they may have found an installation location that would do it for $75. That's why I say you're calling a lot. And so we're calling different locations for you each time. I mean, we have 4,000 install locations across the country.
You're giving me the wrong locations. Every time I call, they tell me, well, there's this one and this one. Then I call back and talk to somebody else, and they say, no, there's this one and that one. Then I call to somebody else, and they say, no, it's this and that.
Sir, we have 4,000 locations spread across the country, so there's a real possibility if you call us 5 times over the course of 5 months that each time we could call a different location, and that might be for a lot of reasons. That might be because the one we called the last time isn't available anymore. That might be because they're just not answering the phone. That might be because the representative finds a location that's a little bit farther away that they think would be cheaper, but there's all kinds of reasons for that. So we have 4,000 locations.
Sir, you're in Michigan, and you've only got so many. It's not 4,000 in Michigan, and they don't change. But
it's 4,000 across the country. I mean, there are some metropolitan areas, and even out in the country, where we might have 10 or 15 different locations that are within driving distance of you. So when you call, we are going to call the service centers that we deem the cheapest for you to get the install done and the closest to you, or the best that we can do. If we can't get a hold of one that's really close to you, we're going to call the next one. And so if you call us, each time you call, you may get a different service center as a recommendation for who to install at. Now, you can request a specific service center, and we can try and get you into that one.
Sir,
but there's no guarantee that we'll be able to do that.
We didn't get that close. Your people don't know your locations. And that's
okay. Well, at this point, what would you like to do? Would you like to sign up for an interlock, or would you like to go with a different provider?
No, what I want to do is I need to speak. I need to make sure that this is going to flow easily. And I also I talked to Nick, and he said that he would give me a discount, and also Amber.
Sure.
Amber said she would give me a discount for all the trouble that I've gone through, and it's not my fault. You can't have a map that shows 7 locations in my area, and then I talk to somebody else and they show 13 locations in my area.
So do you have a specific service center that you would like to go to?
The closest one from what I understand, but here's another thing, your map is wrong. Your map says 18 miles and the true map is 29 miles, and it's in Casco, Casco, Michigan.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of getting the sense that I mean, I can only give you the information that I have in front of me, and I'm definitely not going to lie to you about it. So I'm kind of getting the sense that you just don't really trust any of the information we're trying to give you.
Well,
so if you don't trust the information that I'm giving you, I don't know what else I can do for you at that point.
What I'm telling you is there is a location called Jeremy's, and they must be big because other companies use them. So they are probably the closest to me. And the problem that I've had is every time I talk to somebody, I had a woman tell me the closest one is Marysville or Royal Oak. And then I talked to Nick, and he told me there's Casco, which is a lot closer than Marysville or Royal Oak.
Hold Hold on, I'm going to pull up the list of installation locations that I have that are available for you. Okay, so you'll have to help me out here about which places you would like to go to. But when I look up your zip code, the closest location that I have listed here is in Lapeer.
No, but
it's called Rob's Service.
Yeah,
Center.
but that's not. They don't do the install. They only do the calibration.
Okay, did you call them?
No, I've already done that. I've already researched that. And the first person that I spoke with said the same thing, and then I had her look it up and look it up. They only do the calibration.
Okay, would you be able to go to Casco, Michigan?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Jeremy's Automotive and Performance?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then,
would you like us to set up an appointment for you for there?
Yes. The only thing is, what I need to know before we do all of this is I need to know the total costs. I need to know the cost of deinstall. And also, now, the lady Amber said that she's familiar with Michigan law. I'm assuming she said that she's familiar with Michigan law, or she said I know about Michigan. So what I was wondering that I am having problems with, Trent, is once I get that device, what I have to do is I have to make sure that they told me that I have to go to the Secretary of State and apply to take a test, but they told me that I have to apply for a driving test. But then when I called the driving school said, no, you have to apply for a written test. Is there anybody in your company that could give me directions on that?
So we can only give you directions on the things that we need to be able to do the install, okay? Mm-hmm. And the only thing that I need to be able to report to the state is the court order that says you're required to have one of these, and that's it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about any of the driving tests or what version they are, and we don't generally get into that with customers because kind of gets kind of drifts into a legal area. It's not really. It's what they're doing to me. They're not giving me the right information, and that's why I was wondering if there's... And if they're giving you the wrong information, that's something that you would have to take up with them. That's not something that I can advise you
when
on.
Amber said that something about that she's familiar, or she's the Michigan representative or something like that, I thought she may be able to help me. But I understand your position too. So what is this going to cost me? Could you give me total with installation, lock, installation, deinstallation, discounts, and anything else? And from what I understand, in Michigan, it's once every 2 months for calibration.
Recalibrations are every 60 days. So yes, that would be a 2 month, roughly a 2 month time span. 60 days exactly is what it is.
Okay.
So with your cost for Michigan, you would be $52.99 biweekly. Okay, so you're going to pay $52.99 every 2 weeks for you to have the device with us.
What is that?
On top of that,
is that $106 a month?
Correct. Yeah,
okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And then to start up your account with us, you're going to be charged a $27.50 setup fee. That covers the cost of us getting your account set up, structuring it correctly, getting your court order and all of your correct information so that we can report to the state. There's a lot of extra stuff that we do in the background to be able to get you kind of started and going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that $27.50 covers.
Okay.
Generally, the installations are right around $75. Now, for your vehicle, it could be a little bit more or it could be a little bit less. That depends on the location that you wind up going to get it done. And then as far as installations go, I can call Jeremy's and ask them, but the installation cost varies from place to place. So I would have to call them first to validate what the cost of install would be.
Okay.
That should be that's not the only fee. Sorry. So when you go down to Jeremy's to have it recalibrated every 60 days,
I won't be going.
They charge a fee for that.
Oh, they.
What's that?
Are you saying they charge a fee for calibration?
Yep. Recalibration. So when they have to recalibrate the device, there's time, and as far as that goes. So there's going to be a cost associated with that. Usually it's right around $15. Once again, could be $5 lower than that, $5 higher than that. You know, it just depends on the service center that you go to, but generally we tell people it's right around $15.
See, I didn't know that at all. You're saying I don't see anywhere where no one's ever mentioned recalibration is at a cost.
Yep.
60, and it's usually how much?
Around $15
every 2 months.
Yep.
Okay, and that can be done at any a recalibration center like in Lapeer. Is that correct?
We've done it at any one of our locations. That's correct. Yep.
Okay. And then and then how about deinstalling the device?
That's usually around $75. Once again, it might be a little bit higher. It might be a little bit lower than that, depending on your vehicle and depending on the service center that you choose. But just like recalibrations, we generally tell people it's right around $75.
Okay. It's just when Nick said $150 to $175, that's different from anybody else that I heard.
Yeah, and I mean, he might be giving you initial cost. Generally, when you sign up with us, you're going to pay us the $27.50, plus you're going to pay us the $52.99 for your first payment. So that covers your first payment, so you don't have to pay it after you get it installed. And then usually there's a shipping charge, a one-time shipping charge to get the device out to the shop as well, too. Generally, that can be right around $30 to $35. So he may have been quoting you, I mean, without listening to his call, he may have been quoting you, you know, the whole price, everything that you pay up front. It's tough to tell without listening to the call. But
now, if I pay you today, when do you think this might be able to be? Because I have to have somebody take me down there. When might this be able to be installed?
I mean, we can get you. Generally, we can get you an install as early as, you know, same day or next day. Okay. It depends on the availability of the shop.
Okay.
If the shop can get you in tomorrow, we can probably get you in tomorrow.
Yeah. See,
but if they can't, you may have to wait until the beginning of next week.
Yeah. See, my biggest problem is that I have to figure out who's going to take me down there. So, I just as long as it's not, you know, a week or something like that. That's good. You're saying a day, so
yeah, it can be that long.
Right.
Would you like me to call them and get you an exact price?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Nope, I don't mind at all. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to put you on hold.
I can tell you're a good salesman.
Just trying to do you right.
No, you do a good job.
I'll be right back, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you there?
Yes.
Okay, so got some pricing information from Gary down at Jeremy's. He is saying that, so $75 is a standard install, but that's for some really old model vehicles that are a little bit easier to install on. You know, the longer back you get, the less complicated the install, because a lot of those old vehicles, you know, 1990s and such, are basically one wire to the starter and that's it. So your vehicle is standard $75, plus there's likely a little bit of under hood work that they'll have to do. So there's a $25 bump for that. So Gary down at Jeremy's is saying he could get you installed for $100. Okay, probably have a little bit of tax on top of that. All right. Now I also did ask him about deinstalls. His deinstall cost is $70. His recalibration cost, if you were to wind up doing the recals with him, are $20. So a little bit higher than what I originally quoted you. And other than that, you'd be good to go.
I talked to both Nick and that lady said that they would give me some kind of courtesy discount for all the trouble that I've gone through.
Oh, yeah, sure. So what we can do is we can give you a rebate on the install,
okay,
and that would cover $100 worth of the install. So it would basically essentially get you a free install. So we could do that. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that for you.
Okay, cool.
Now, the way that works is you're actually going to pay Jeremy the $100 for the install, and they're going to give you a little rebate form. You're going to take a picture of your receipt and fill out that rebate form and send it to us, and once we get it, we're going to credit your account back the $100, okay?
Cool.
So just so you know that you'll still have to pay them when you go down there that day. I don't want to make you think that it's just free, okay?
Yeah.
Now, they said that they have time to do it on Monday. They can do either sometime between 9 and 10 a.m. on Monday, or they could do 1 to 2 on Monday. And I would expect a couple hours minimum for the install. So if you do wait, it's going to take them some time. It'll probably be a couple hours.
Really,
if you did want to drop it off, I'm sure they'd be all right with that, too.
Someone told me that it was only an hour. So you're saying it's 2 hours?
I mean, here's the thing. Could they get it done in an hour? Yeah, they could get it done in an hour, but I don't ever like to quote people that. I always tell them anywhere between 1 and 2 hours, just because if they run into something weird on your vehicle and it takes them more time, it takes them more time, and I just don't want you to be expecting something that's unrealistic, if that makes sense.
Here's what I have to do. Once I get off the phone with you, I have to contact somebody to find out when I could get down there. So I can't make an appointment right now. So who do I...
Okay, well, can you call... notes in your account. Can you call me back and get a hold of just me?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, write down my extension. My extension is 497.
497.
And my name is Trent.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I can contact them and get right back with you.
Okay, yep. When you call back and you get the 1-800 number, just dial my extension. And if you don't get my extension dialed, when you get a hold of somebody, just ask for me. Like I said, my name is Trent.
Okay. I'll get back with you as soon as I can, Trent. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Today is Friday, February 19th, 2021. It's 12:02 p.m. and I'm calling Intoxalock.
Thank you for calling Intoxalock. Press 1 for English or press 2 for Spanish. If you know your party's extension, dial it now.
Thanks for calling Intoxalock. This is Trent. How can I help you?
Hi, Trent. This is Rich. I could do 2. Did you say 2 o'clock Monday at Jeremy's?
Yep.
Yeah, I can take that one.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I'm not actually a salesperson, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you with one of my best salespeople on my team so that she can actually go through your account, get everything set up, get all the information that you need, and get your appointment scheduled, okay?
Now, who's that?
Her name is going to be Georgie. She's really good at her job, and I'm going to pre-explain everything to her so you won't have to go through a single thing with her again.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, great.
All right, give me just 1 second. I'll put you on hold, and I'm going to get you over to her. Give me 1 second. All right, Richard, you with me?
Yes.
Hey, so Georgie was with another customer, so what I'm going to do is, just for expedience to get you all taken care of, I'm going to get you one of my agents. His name is Ryan Lux, and he's on the phone right now with us, okay?
Okay.
I've already explained everything to him. He understands the pricing. He understands everything that we've already went over, so everything's going to be the same as when you were talking to me. So all he's going to do is take your initial payment to get your account set up and started, and then once he's done with that, he'll call the shop, make sure that they've got you scheduled on the books, and get you in for 2 o'clock on Monday, okay?
Do you know, can you tell me what I need to show to the Secretary of State that I have the interlock device installed?
We'll give you a certificate of installation. After your installation is done, you take that to them with you.
I'm sorry, what did you say I have to do?
It's a certificate of installation after the installation is finished.
Gotcha.
So both you and the service center will sign that certificate of installation, validating that the installation has been completed. Okay. And then once that's done, you'll be able to take that to the Secretary of State, DMV, whoever you need to.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm going to turn you over to Ryan now. He'll get you taken care of from here.
Okay.
Take it away, Ryan.
Good morning, sir. My name's Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
It's Friday. I can't complain, Mr. It's a much-needed Friday.
I'm looking in Michigan weather, and there's a foot of snow on the ground. Where are you?
Ohio, right below you, sir.
So you got the same thing.
Oh, luckily I have an all-wheel drive vehicle, but it's can't say the same about everybody around here. They're not really taking care of our streets that much. It's the ice that's the problem, Richard. It's the ice. It's not the snow.
I know. Did you see what happened in Texas?
Well, I saw this morning on, I think it was CNN, that it's so cold down there, the pipes are bursting in people's houses and just turning them into igloos.
I know.
So, luckily, we're a little bit more acclimated to that weather. It's interesting because they don't have the, I'm sure you're already aware of this, they don't have the road departments or the crews or the equipment to handle that kind of, weather, where to us that's like a normal day.
I know. Well, and you're in Ohio, and Michigan's worse. So I know what you're talking about.
Well, you Michigan Wolverines are my favorite football team, so I'd gladly come live in your state. All right, Richard, let me, Trent already gave me all the pricing and numbers and everything. Let's see where you left off at so I can fill in all the gaps,
okay.
And then we'll go ahead and get you figured out for an install here. Of course, once again, my name's Ryan. I'll take your payment at the end. Let's just fill in all the blanks that we have left here, and then if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those along the way.
Okay.
Richard, I'm going to ask you a bunch of easy questions here. Number one, do you have an email address you'd want us to send all of your receipts to?
Yes. At gmail.com.
777s?
Yes.
Gotcha. Thanks, Rick. And Rick, what is your date of birth, sir? No problem. And, Rick, do you know your Michigan driver's license number?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay, just to confirm everything's correct for your paperwork and filing, I have one. Looks like we're going to be using Great Lakes Auto Repair on 309 West Walton. Trent let me know your installation is going to be 100.
Wait a minute, it's supposed to be Jeremy's.
Oh, sorry. Okay, in Casco.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My apologies. Trent let me know your installation is going to be $100. We're going to offer you a rebate, which reimburses you that in full. So in theory, you're going to get your installation for free. You're going to have recalibrations at $20, which is what the shop charges, and you're going to have a deinstall of $70. Once the day comes, you'd like to have this removed.
Yeah, see, the problem is I probably won't be around Casco by the time this thing is removed. I might be up north in northern Michigan. So I'm gonna have,
That's fine, sir.
I'm gonna have to use somebody else anyway. But okay.
Okay, that looks all correct to me. Rick, what county did you get arrested in involving this case?
This was 20 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was in Lapeer County.
Okay. Well, at least you're getting it taken care of finally.
I've been avoiding it ever since.
If you don't mind me asking, Rick, why? Is it just that 1 year term you didn't want to do, or is it just like the cost side of things, or you just genuinely not want to do it?
No, it's a long story, but I
Gotcha.
I was taking a doctor prescribed medication that I flipped out on, and I got 3 DUIs in 4 months, 3.5 months, and
Ooh.
yeah, and then I went and I threw the medication out and had a stroke, and I sued the doctor for medical malpractice and won, but in the meantime it destroyed my whole life. So here I am 20 years later.
I wouldn't say it destroyed your life, sir. I mean, I don't believe you if you tell me that, because you're still here. You still have an opportunity to make
but
your situation.
You know what? Though I was a certified financial planner, and I had a big my own business, and that's because what happened is I tried to fight it. I spent all this money hiring lawyers to prove that I was innocent, and the corrupt county just nailed me to a cross. So kind of ruined my whole.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, they do that. That's why I'm very nervous about dealing with the state of Michigan and the Secretary of State, because I originally filed for to get my license back a year ago, and then they told me that I had to take the test again, and I took the or not the test. I had to get another hearing, and then when I got the hearing in August, and then they said, "Oh, you didn't need the hearing. All you needed was the interlock device." So I wasted all that time, and then I tried to get in September. I tried to get get this thing installed, and then they told me, "Well, you need an enhanced birth certificate," and that took me 3 months to get. So
I don't even know what that means.
I have no idea. I didn't know either. I went to the Secretary of State, and they said, "Well, you don't." I said, "Here's my birth certificate." And they said, "Oh, you need an enhanced birth certificate," and I didn't even know what that was. And they said, "Well, it takes 7 to 10 days," and it took 3 months to get it. And that's that's how screwed up the state is.
Well, let's try to do things correct this time, so we don't have to cause you any more headaches, then, Rick.
Yeah. That's why that's what I'm worried about. What I have to do is, once I get this installed, I got to get a driving test and also a written test. And the Secretary of State, they gave me wrong directions. They told me the Secretary of State set an appointment to go to the hearing the hearing board in Lansing set an appointment to get this hearing, and they set it for the wrong hearing. And I went to the Secretary of State, and they said, we don't know what you're talking about. So, geez, that's why I'm paranoid about what's going on. It's the federal and state government is dead broke, and that's why they're scrambling any way possible to make a dime.
Correct, absolutely, sir. 100% correct.
Anyway,
100.
We don't have to talk about politics. You don't.
Thank you, because I can't stand them.
You don't have enough. You don't have enough time.
Nope, I am going out of town in about 2 hours, and I cannot wait, sir. I'm going to Cleveland for the night.
Yeah, hopefully you won't have to have a COVID pass to travel. You know.
Oh, I hope not. It's only 45 minutes away from me.
Yeah, but you know about that? The fake.
I mean, I looked at the hotel stuff, and they said I didn't just need to bring an ID.
No, I'm
hoping for the best.
I'm just talking about the COVID pandemic's hoax. It's all fake. Nobody's dying. The masks don't work. The shots that they're giving people are killing people. Did you know any you know about that?
Well, yeah, I do, and I know 2 months ago I lost my 29-year-old perfectly healthy cousin, and they're saying it was from COVID.
Yeah, but they're calling influenza COVID. Influenza is more destructive than COVID. COVID has a 99.9
without a doubt
975% recovery rate, and they're doing that to blow up the economy. You see what's going on?
Well, I agree.
Look what they did to all small businesses in the last year. But that's a whole different...
I understand, sir. I'm from the Steel Valley.
Yeah.
Trust me, I understand. I'm in the heart of the steel mill industry.
Yeah, and they've got everybody walking around with face tampons on that don't work. And the masks don't work, and the shots that they're giving people are killing them, and they're covering it all up. That's the big problem that we're in right now in the United States. The pandemic is a fake. It's all done to destroy the whole world economy. That's why there is no pandemic. Where are all the dead bodies? But anyway, I
don't know.
Let's get back to business, because I don't want to spend your whole day.
I do about 20 of these a day. I happen to unfortunately do a lot of them. Rick, do you know your license plate number so I can pull a wiring diagram for the installer?
Yeah. Get on the internet and research about how dangerous those shots are.
That's what I've been hearing.
My plate is...
Thank you. Give me 1 second to pull a diagram for that. Rick, what county do you generally register your license plates in, sir?
Lapeer.
Okay. Let me go ahead and pull a diagram for the installer. VIN number ending in... That VIN number comes back to a 2010 Chevy Cobalt vehicle.
Correct.
Okay. All of your personal info, offense info, vehicle info, and pricing info has been covered, just to ensure we've gone over all the different bases. Your grand total today is going to be your filing fee plus your first bi-weekly payment. Let me get that exact amount for you. $27.50 plus $52.99. $27.50 plus $52.99. That is $80.49. Give me 1 minute to prepare all this. I'll ring you out for $80.49. I'll shoot you an email receipt back to Rick. you and I are going to call Jeremy's Automotive so I can get you set for an installation appointment.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for your patience, Mr. I'm going to ring you out for $80.49. Please keep in mind the debit or credit card you give me, we will bill bi-weekly. That is every 14 days for the duration of your interlock service with us. And, of course, we'll email you a receipt back for every one of those bi-weekly payments.
Okay.
Okay. I got your email typed in for a receipt for you for proof of purchase. I'm going to ring you out for $80.49, Rick. I'm ready for the debit or credit card number you'd like to put on file for your payment.
You ready?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Expiration on that, Rick? What's the 3-digit pin on the back? Okay. And Richard, the name on the card.
Yes.
Richard Schwartz. Okay. All right, Rick, you'll receive an email receipt in about 3 to 5 minutes. You'll see that in your inbox.
Okay.
Okay, and then in terms of scheduling, when do you want this interlock put in? Of course, I have to see what their availability looks like, but what would you prefer?
When I spoke with Trent, he said that 2 p.m. Monday is available.
That's right, he did say that. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and call them to send the work order for 2 p.m. on Monday. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll put you on hold. All right, Rich, got you booked for 2 p.m. on Monday. Cost of install is $100, and you're going to get that reimbursed in full after the rebate is factored in.
Can I get the address to Jeremy's?
Of course. It is 10788. I'll spell the name of the road. G as in good.
Gratiot.
Yeah. Yep, Gratiot.
Would you have said it that way? Would you have said it that way?
No, I would have said
Gratiote.
I would probably said
Gratiote.
Yeah, that or Gratiot. Gratiot is probably what I would have said.
Somehow Gratiote doesn't say Gratiot.
No, that's a tough one there.
Right.
Do you need their phone number too?
Yes. And that's
Sure.
that's in Casco?
Correct.
What's the zip?
48064.
64, and their phone is
586-727-5419.
727.
And I'm going to send them the work order in about 45 minutes.
You said 58.
Waiting for the.
You said 586-727.
5419.
419. Okay, cool.
And they're going to receive your work order in about 45 minutes, and we're going to get your interlock mailed out in about an hour as well, and it'll be there before your appointment at Monday, 2 p.m.
Oh, okay, cool. So, are we done then, Ryan?
Yeah, unless you have any final wrap-up questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. But everything on my end, I've covered all the bases, so to speak, in terms of what information I need to give you.
How flexible are calibration dates? Like, if I
Let me.
Does it have to be exactly every 30 days or every 60 days, rather?
Let me pull up everything involving Michigan. I do this in so many states, it's just hard to remember everything.
Right.
Michigan is a little funky.
No kidding.
You're recommended to have it every 56 days, which is a very weird number one. You will get a reminder emailed to you 7 days out. It does not show, as some states do, any flexibility on that. I would recommend, if I were you, I would do it at day 49 to day 56, so you don't go over. I would, in my mind, look at 56 as the threshold point, so to speak, and since you have 7 days to do it in beforehand, you just can't go over 56.
I can't believe they would make it 56. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. That's very stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
no kidding.
Someone smarter than me and that makes a lot more than me probably figured that one out.
No. It's people more stupid. that Michigan is a collapsed government. I tried contacting everybody all the way up to the governor, and nobody's in charge. It's really scary.
Well, sir, I'm sure you don't like the state of Michigan, but thank God it's not the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. If you thought this was bad, you should see what Pennsylvania puts people through.
Really? No.
Oh, sir. Oh.
Have you ever heard the term the New World Order?
Yeah, I'm not very knowledgeable. I know the basics of it. I don't give it much attention personally, but I understand the idea of it.
Welcome to it. That's what's happening. That's where we're at.
Rick, my name's Ryan at extension 429. I'm your main point of contact until your installation day. If you need anything, I will be out of the office in about 2 hours, but I will be back in the office Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time if you have any questions. Okay. You're also going to receive an email from me with all my contact information. Emailing me is the quickest way to get a hold of me. As you can imagine, we just take inbound calls all day. Okay. And for example, right now, we've got 81 people waiting on hold.
Wow.
So shooting me an email is by far the easiest route, so I can accurately give you, a response.
And that's right on what you're sending me?
Yep, you're going to receive that in about an hour, I would say, because it's going to take me about 45 minutes for the work order to get down to Jeremy's, but you will see it in your inbox at some point, this afternoon.
Great. Thanks, Ryan. I really appreciate all your help.
My pleasure, sir. Nice to meet you. I really appreciate your time and your